Hello, people. It's Karai Wave here again, aka Mountie Chief, aka who the hell cares at this point. Yeah, some people are gonna complain to me saying, why are you getting to this video now? One, because I can, simply because of the fact that Josh hasn't changed his thoughts on this subject, for one. Second off, because I was originally gonna do it then, so why not now? Better late than never. And if someone wants to bitch about it, eh. Really, you're only lining up some people's pockets with this, so whatever. Okay. Around the time Josh was planning his top 10 co-op games video, he uploaded 2 videos on Piracy. He uploaded one original video a month prior to this, I believe, but that was taken down due to some copyright issues. And then there's the second one he uploaded, aka the one that I'm responding to. Now, I want to quickly get my thoughts on Piracy out of the way. I only enforce Piracy if it's a region-locked game, or B, if it involves games that you either cannot get anymore, such as NES games, and I'm talking about stuff that you can't get from a store, if you don't have a credit card, etc. So what's your excuse for that, Josh? What about those people? But pirating something that you have a lot of money on is no excuse. And I only enforce it in the event that a game doesn't come over here, such as an English patch. So that's the thing, honestly. And what I find funny is that in the video, Josh talks about video game piracy. Which is funny, because that's not how it goes, because he labels in the video 5 arguments for piracy I'm sick of hearing. Josh, the definition of piracy essentially is, from dictionary at least, the unauthorized reproduction or use of a copyrighted book, recording, television program, patented invention, trademark product, etc. In other words, the unauthorized reproduction of copyrighted material. Josh, did you buy the copyrights to use the Vegeta final move from Budokai 3? Did you buy the copyrights to any of the music? No. You're a pirate. You're using other people's copywritten work. Don't pull the fair use argument, because I'm pretty sure if you try to upload this onto a TV station or something, and you try to use that argument, you'd get your ass blasted. I know you try and say video game piracy, but would it have been so hard just to put it in the title? Now, I'm going to respond to your arguments. Argument 1. It doesn't matter if I get it later. You say that's the wrong thing. And you bring up the argument that 2 people buy it, yet one buyer buys it first, and then the other guy who pirates it first then buys it after the price drops. You say that's not fair. First off, Josh, that's an error on your part, because, oh yeah, game company still makes the money that was given from the person. And plus, if it's a game that has multiple save files, what if the person wants to go through it again? Besides, that's more of a problem with the 2 friends, not a problem with the gaming company, because they're going to make money still. If you're complaining about a price drop because one person paid $60 and the other paid $50, you might as well bitch about the subject of price drops, because every game has a price drop in it. Essentially, that's what your complaint amounts to. Number 4. $60 is too much to ask for a video game. At least I believe that's what you say. No, it wasn't. I'm just kidding. Everyone pirates, so it's okay. I can somewhat agree with you on this part, because mainly, well, not everyone pirates. Piracy, in terms of video games, is a minority, because the game companies, at least in terms of the first-party developers, such as Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, they actually do something in the case that you are caught using hacks or pirating your games. Nintendo doesn't do this as much, but Microsoft and Sony sure do. Especially when you try to go online with them. Nintendo just sucks with that, so. Now, that's just the thing. And you can also, I also forgot to mention this, but it wasn't important. You say piracy encourages mediocrity. So, piracy has been around since, the day of the internet? So, let me understand this straight. Super Mario Galaxy, Sunshine, Gears of War, Halo, Dragon Age, All those games are apparently mediocre because of piracy. Do you notice the flaw in that argument? No, piracy does not encourage mediocrity. It hurts the industry because of sales lost, but it doesn't encourage mediocrity. Sega isn't losing money because of piracy, Josh. They're losing it because not a lot of people are liking their games anymore. Same thing with other companies. It's not because of piracy. Number 3, $60 is too much to ask for a video game. You bring up the 3 arguments to this, saying, 1, wait for the price drop. Josh, not every game has a price drop. It eventually does, but not is at the rate you think. For example, I went to a source one day. I was looking through DS games to see what I was going to get. And I found Pokemon Pearl and Diamond priced at $60. This was in 2012, and those games were released 5 years ago. Yeah, that's definitely a price drop. And then you say, buy it used. Josh, there's only like 1, maybe 2 video game stores I know of that has a shop that sells used games. EB Games and GameStop. $5 says they're the same thing, but essentially, well, if you go anywhere else and try to return it, they'll just sell it as a new game. And at that point, it makes you ask this question. Are you really going to drive 5 hours just for a game like that? For an NES game? Makes you wonder if it's worth it. And besides, you probably spend a lot of money on gas to get there. Then you say borrowed from a friend. All you say to that is, well, what if the person doesn't have the game? And then you say that's not the developer's fault. Then you move on to the next point. If you had nothing to say to that, what was the point of bringing it up? I see no purpose in that. Then you say, it's only $60, so it doesn't matter. You complain about this, but the thing is, because piracy is a minority in the video game industry, that's the thing. They're still making money out of it. So it doesn't matter. If a person is making millions of dollars, do you really think the video game company will give a crap if they're out $10? No, I don't think so. Now, you also bring up the argument of saying, would you go into a Best Buy and steal a PS3? And then before that, you say 5 games, $50 each. Josh, you just said they were $60. Can you make up your mind? Seriously. You said before it was $60. So, what? PS3 games are less expensive? That doesn't make any sense. What else? And then you say, no, you can't do that. As it is shown from this video, what were you getting at with that? Were you trying to force people to do something? Because, remember the last time you tried to do that? What was that he made a video where he almost did that. What was that again? Oh yeah, top 10 overrated video games. Yeah, I remember how much of a shitfest that turned into. And then you pull the claim of the developers don't give a crap, and your only thing you say to that is SOPA without saying anything else. Josh, SOPA was vague as crap for one. Okay? No one knew about it, and apparently it was going after video games, so of course the developers would be behind that, because they've had help from the government in the past. Plus it affected video games, so they were going to be on it so they could figure out what was going on. Another thing, Josh, SOPA was basically designed from the original creator itself to go for sites like Pirate Bay, not the video game industry. But the game companies didn't know that. That's why they joined. And as you've seen, during the blackout and a few other events, they lost support for it, like the ESA, the creators of EB Games, etc. That's just the thing. Besides, as you know, the bill was dropped. That's really it, and what's funny is that you try and bitch at people for going for video game piracy, including the first video you did say, I bought everything legitimately. Josh, even if you buy something, that doesn't give you the copyrights to use it. Look at YouTube. They say that even if you own a track, you cannot use it in your video because it's copyrighted. Yet, you used footage in your countdowns. You use footage in your reviews. And most of the time, they're not for criticism purposes. Plus, fair use only works for 30 seconds of the video clips. So, essentially, I know I hate using this word, but essentially, You kind of contradicted your whole point of making the video. Since you yourself pirate, you just download clips, which, spoiler alert, you're stealing someone else's property and using it in another video without their permission. It's funny how that works, but that's all I really need to say. I can't wait to hear your responses to this, especially you, Josh. And if, it's in the same way of Master Fox as well, I tried. To those who are gonna bitch at me for saying this video is irrelevant, Josh has not changed his opinion on piracy, so I have every right to talk about it. That's it. Later.